Ron? Where are you? Where is Ron right now? You done messed up, Ron!
Ron is right here, everyone. Welcome back for more SPTV, where every day's a great day not to be in a cult. I want to thank the author of this next article that we are going to. I'm going to be reading this article with you, sharing this article with you. It's actually something that is posted to a Patreon account. But the article that I'm going to share with you right now is not behind a paywall. And it has to do with a football scholarship scheme that a Scientology school in Clearwater, Florida, where I live, appears to be using to attract international students to come over to the U.S. and enroll in Scientology schools. In this case, a particular Scientology school called the Clearwater Academy International. And as I was preparing for this video and doing a little bit of research on Clearwater Academy International's football team, the plot thickened. The hole got a little deeper. There's the story, and there is very obviously a story behind the story that well, anyway, this is going to get very interesting. So let's just take this one step at a time. So first, the Patreon account here is called the Guild of Common Sense. I've put a link to this Patreon account in the description down below. And the article that we are going to read is this: The Cult of Scholarship. The Church of Scientology tries to lure people with its big dream. For example, by offering young footballers a U.S. scholarship. Now, guys, in this context, footballer refers to American football, not soccer. Not soccer. And it gets a little confusing because in Germany and in Europe, they do call, football refers to soccer, the round ball game. And this entire article refers to American football, just so there's no question. Okay, Scientology tries to lure people with its big dream, for example, by offering young footballers a U.S. scholarship. It had become quiet around the Scientology organization in Hamburg, Germany, while the U.S. sect, whose most prominent member is Tom Cruise, was recruiting new members every day in the 90s around its former North German headquarters on Steindam. The Scientologists have now disappeared from the streetscape. Instead, the church of sect founder L. Ron Hubbard is now using a new method to catch people. It offers German American football players the opportunity to play football at a United States high school, scholarship included. But the path leads to Clearwater, Florida, the stronghold and headquarters of the Scientologists. According to research by NDR, Scientologists have contacted around 100 German football players in recent months, including 5 from the Hamburg junior team called Young Huskies, via various social networks to make them an interesting offer. They could receive a language scholarship and play in an ambitious high school team in the motherland of football. The 18-year-old Hamburg native, Jan W., quarterback of the Huskies, also received such an offer via Instagram from a U.S. headhunter whose Scientologist membership was not apparent to Jan. For him, his most fervent wish, a career in sport in the U.S., seemed to be coming true. His parents wanted to fulfill his dream and even mortgage their house to finance the required contribution to the scholarship. Well, not much of a scholarship then. Okay, preparations for the trip to the U.S. were already in full swing when the parents accidentally zapped into a report about Clearwater, in which the city's connections to Scientology was discussed. The sect's headquarters are located in the metropolis of 100,000 inhabitants on Tampa Bay in Florida. Every 10th inhabitant of Clearwater is said to belong to Scientology. Yes, Scientology would love the world to believe that 10% of the population of Clearwater, Florida are Scientologists, but I promise you nothing could be further from the truth. It's true. Scientology has claimed that there are as many as 15,000 Scientologists living in Clearwater itself, not just Tampa Bay, but Clearwater itself. The truth is, of the 120,000 citizens of Clearwater, Florida, 2,000 or less are Scientologists. The truth is much, much different. Oh, and by the way, that 2,000, that actually refers to all of Tampa Bay. Like, honestly. And of that 2,000, like 1,000 of them are the Sea Org members who live and work inside the buildings and, practically never see the light of day. Okay. City in Scientologists' hands. The Clearwater Academy International, the high school that Jan wanted to attend, is also firmly in the hands of the Scientologists. The website contains, albeit hidden, references to the founder of the sect, L. Ron Hubbard, and the school rules derived from its beliefs leave no doubt that Clearwater Academy is not a normal high school. It is true. Clearwater Academy is one of the major Scientology schools in Clearwater, Florida. You have Clearwater Academy, you have the Delphi Academy, and you have Washburn Academy. Those are the three main schools that have, physical campuses. It's not run out of someone's basement. It's not a homeschool-based program. These are Scientology schools. Pretty much everyone who works there are Scientologists. The vast majority of the kids who go there are Scientologists, and the curriculum is based on the works of L. Ron Hubbard, and Scientology principles are infused into the practices and the management of the schools. The Clearwater Academy's football coach, Jesse Chinar, finally admits to being a Scientologist. Although he denies any religious background to the high school, he admits that L. Ron Hubbard's technologies are used at Clearwater Academy. Jan and his parents now know enough. They cancel the trip to the U.S. and they contact the Office for the Protection of the Constitution, which has been monitoring Scientology for decades. It's really perfidious to use a scholarship to create the illusion of a great career as an athlete in order to then lure young people to Clearwater and bring them into the clutches of the Scientology organization, says Marco Haas, spokesman for the Hamburg State Office for the Protection of the Constitution. However, the method is not new. Many methods lead to L. Ron Hubbard's lap. Scientology has been trying for years to gain new financially strong members in social networks and via front organizations, mostly in the area of life support. Guys, I believe there's a bit of a communication. I think the author is German, and that's why some of the language is slightly off. Okay, for example, a subsidiary of the sect called Narconon ran a drug help center near Itzehoe for years, through which it recruited addicts for the sect. For 18 years, from 1992 to 2010, there was even a Scientology working group in the Hamburg Interior Ministry under the leadership of former SPD member of the Hamburg Parliament, Ursula Cabrera, which dealt intensively with the activities of Scientology. The public relations work bore fruit. According to the Office for the Protection of the Constitution, the number of Scientology members living in Hamburg has more than halved in the past 10 years, going from 750 people down to 350 people. In the 80s and the 90s, Scientology members tried to use real estate agents to promote the conversion of rented flats into property in order to raise money for themselves and for Scientology. These companies have also virtually disappeared in the meantime. The method of using football scholarships to recruit new followers is therefore seen by Mr. Haas, spokesperson for the Office of the Protection of the Constitution, as a clear sign that Scientology is under considerable pressure. Very interesting. Okay. Here's where the plot thickens. So the author of this article makes it very clear that the offers of scholarship came through Instagram in the last several months. This is very strange, because it turns out that Clearwater Academy International, after running what has been described by some as one of the most successful high school football programs in the country, or private high school football programs in the country, just a few months ago announced that it was officially canceling its high school program, throwing the whole thing away right in the dumpster. Let me share this with you. This is actually as reported by Sports Illustrated, you guys. Clearwater Academy International shutting down its football program. The Knights made the announcement Wednesday evening. They are ending football operations February 7th. I mean, my goodness, this is almost 6 months ago. On a day where high school football players from all over the state signed where they'll be playing collegiately, one program that sent countless athletes into the next level is closing up shop. In an announcement made via X, formerly known as Twitter, Clearwater Academy International announced they are effectively shutting down football operations after 16 years. Below is a release from Clearwater Academy International's Board of Trustees on ending the football program at the school. Guys, this is one of the craziest explanations for that I've ever heard. Clearwater Academy has a 16-year history of football. From its beginnings as a 6-man team in a 40-student high school to what it is today, a nationally known and ranked program that has sent over 80 players to college programs, including some of the finest institutions in America, such as Stanford, Notre Dame, Alabama. We never conceived that Clearwater Academy could become the football powerhouse that it is today. The success of the program, given the odds that had to be overcome, is truly astounding. Head coach Jesse Chinchar, yeah, that makes more sense. Head coach Jesse Chinchar's determination and hard work has created growth and success far beyond anything that we ever imagined. Because of its unprecedented success, the program has outgrown Florida. The future requires us playing at a national level on par with some of the top sports academies in America. After an exhaustive attempt, and despite looking at all possible options, we have come to the conclusion that we cannot devote the resources to operate on this national scale. Therefore, we are unable to pursue the football program going forward. Huh? That don't make no damn sense. And so they link to the Twitter account of Clearwater Academy, which we're going to look at in a second. The Knights closing down comes as a shock to the high school football community throughout the Sunshine State, as Clearwater Academy International has been recognized as one of the top independent programs around. Under the guidance of head coach Jesse Chinchar, the Knights continue to make strides in collecting some of the top talent in the Tampa Bay area, and also had a wealth of players coming from Canada. Last season, the Knights finished the regular season with a record of 5-5. Well, that's not good. And we're slated to return a couple of the area's most talented players. Since the program's inception back in 2008, between playing 6-man, 7-man, 8-man, and 11-on-11 tackle football, the Knights compiled 140 victories. Coach Jesse Chinchar says, "It's been the greatest honor of my life to be able to be called coach by these amazing kids. It's been a life-changing opportunity to be a part of the journey for the program and the players. Our program will live on in the legacies left by our players and alumni." Our football program was so successful that we decided we had no choice but to stop competing at the state level and to take it to a whole nother level. We had to go national. But after an exhaustive search, we realized we did not have the ability to dedicate the resources required in order to play at the national level. So we decided to throw the entire football program away completely. That doesn't make any sense. And if they announced they were getting rid of the football team 6 months ago, what in the world were they doing just in the past few months, contacting 100 football players in Germany, young high school football players in Germany, offering them scholarships to come to Clearwater, Florida? What would they really be coming to Clearwater, Florida for if there was, in fact, no football program for them to come to? And also, don't you get the sense there is no way this is the real reason that they scrapped the football program? No way. I smell a scandal. I smell a scandal. Okay, let's see. This is the Twitter profile for the Clearwater Academy International Knights football program. And lo and behold, the pinned tweet on this account is still the one announcing that the entire football program is being scrapped. Although it hasn't prevented this Twitter account from continuing to be active. Okay. And then when we go to the Clearwater Academy's International own website, this is their website. There is, make no mistake, it says currently Clearwater Academy does not offer a tackle football program. Okay, so let's see if there's any information here that wasn't included in the tweet. Our football program is led by strong coaches who have personal experience, both playing and coaching the great game. Our dedicated and caring coaching staff emphasizes proper physical training. We don't have to read all this. The Knights ended their 2019 season ranked 229 nationally out of thousands of high schools. Okay. Some of the colleges our Knights alumni are playing at or have accepted offers to are Clemson, Pitt, Indiana, Minnesota, West Virginia, and more. How come it doesn't say Stanford and Alabama? Unfortunately, in the spring of 2024, the decision was made to suspend our tackle football program. Our very successful program had outgrown the size of our school, as well as the ability to play local teams. Guys, I don't even know what that means. We are very proud of what we had achieved in the few short years we had our program. We are also very proud of all the talented athletes we were able to get to the next level and enjoy watching their success. This is incredible, guys. I don't even know what to make of this. So this is a call. This is a call, a request to all you people here in the Clearwater community, you under the radar Scientologists. If you have more information about what actually led to the Clearwater Academy completely suspending their entire football program, please contact me at growingupinscientology@gmail.com and give me the deets, and I will figure out how to use that information. Okay, let's see. The lovely Barb is in the back office. I'm on limited time here because I have something else I've got to jump. I've actually got an interview I have to jump onto here shortly. But let's see. James Steele says, what percentage of property is owned by Scientology? The vast majority of property in the downtown sector of Clearwater, Florida is owned by Scientology. That is a statement of fact. It is also slightly misleading as far as what that means for Clearwater as a whole. The downtown section of Clearwater is a very, very small portion of Clearwater. And because so much of it has been dominated by Scientology for so long, very little of the economic activity of Clearwater occurs in downtown. Normally, if you would hear that Scientology had taken over a city's downtown, they would basically be running the city. But downtown Clearwater is essentially a vacant ghost town. So it's almost like the majority of the economic activity of Clearwater, Florida occurs on Clearwater Beach, which there's a zero Scientology presence. And Clearwater is somewhat of a sprawling area. And there's even been arguments to relocate what we call our downtown to one of the more, because almost every part of Clearwater, Florida is busier than our downtown area. So on the one hand, both things are true. Scientology owns the vast majority of the real estate in what is called downtown Clearwater, and yet downtown Clearwater doesn't really serve the same function as a downtown in our city as most downtowns serve in normal cities. Lady of Victoria says, question, do you think that cutting the football program is basically just them trying to save more money that can go to the cult? I don't think so. Now, when we say these schools are Scientology schools, the Church of Scientology does not manage these schools. Because of the nature of Scientology, though, they do have oversight over the schools. They certainly have oversight over the Scientologists who run the schools. I guess what I'm saying here is Scientology dollars, the dollars that are under the control of the Church of Scientology, do not go to this school. These schools are private schools. They're actually quite expensive. All of the parents that send their kids to these schools are paying a hefty tuition. And so, this football program is something that attracted attention to the school. In my mind, I cannot think of a single good reason for this program to have been suspended that does not include some sort of scandal. And that's why I want to put my feelers out into the community to find out what was going on. It seems to me that something happened that made this football program more of a liability than it was a benefit. And it seems to me that the benefit was quite high. And so therefore the potential liability would also have to be quite high. I'm speculating, to be perfectly clear. And yet that is to me the only thing that makes sense. But so they did not get rid of it so that more money could go to Scientology. Thank you for the question though. Kestrel, we were so successful we had to cancel the program. I know. There's no world in which that makes sense. Okay, let's see. Lady Victoria says, question, do you think maybe their brainwashing was starting to be undone by the other teams saying stuff? No, I don't think that had anything to do with it, to be perfectly honest. All right, guys, that is it for me. Just a quick one right now. I have to jump. Much more to come later today. Check that subscribe button, guys. You might be surprised to find out you're not actually subscribed. Hit that like button for me if you don't mind. And I'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.